Woohoo! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our second session of the Hands That Thieve. Our this is our own campaign run through the independently made tabletop RPG system, Dethrone the Divine. Basically, a god punk sort of setting game I completely forgot the name of the person who made this. I feel bad. Made by Mr. Ray. Matt Mr. Ray Adams. Uses the awesome DPS system by R.E. Chaos Grenade Davis, which is an awesome name. I highly recommend anybody who is interested in this game or like anything that's going on here, check those out. I should have a link to them in the description. If I don't, I'm gonna be mad with myself and fix that for the next session. I'll go ahead and just to be safe, I'll go ahead and pull up a link to the game. And send that in through YouTube. There we go. If you click that link, you will be able to check out the system for yourself. There are a bunch of community copies available for free. Every time one person purchases a copy, it gets a free copy sent out to just about anybody else to use however they want, which is a really awesome business practice. Mr. Ray Adams also supports a bunch of very, very important causes through this whole ordeal. Stuff like the assistance of persons suffering in Palestine and people still struggling in Ukraine. Different worldly issues that need to be resolved. Again, please go and support them however you can. However, if you'd rather not worry about that kind of stuff. Oh, I didn't actually turn on monetization for this stream yet. I'll leave it off for now, just until we're done with the intro stuff. So, until then, you can just watch us play it and see how it goes. Once again, joining me this week for our second session of this campaign, we have, starting from the top of my screen, I guess, Nebanatsky.
Hello.
Playing as Eureka, goddess of... What was it again? It was...
Goddess of imagination and memory, from what we talked about.
Right. And next we have Nil.
Hello.
Playing as Thome, the god of honor and battle. Crowned god king of honor and battle, excuse me. Also, Eureka is a dragon, just food for thought. And we are also joined by Salty.
Take a drink of coffee, hi.
Also known as the Salty Sweater. They are going to be playing as Otto Sinclair, a new man-made god of... It was creation and discovery, right?
Si, senor.
Yeah. And lastly, Vernadera.
My mic is fucking muted. I'm playing as Nesa, the goddess of justice in the sky.
Yep. Ooh. For anybody who's wondering why Vern and Neba do not have their models up this time around, Vern's not in the right location, and I thought it'd be awkward to ask Neba to be the only one besides me who's moving. So, we're gonna move on. to get us started, I recall asking each of you during this last week what your plans were going to be for the start of the next session. And you all gave me some responses. And I have compiled some possible struggles for each of you as a result of that. So, we're gonna keep that off for now. Let's see. Who wants to start first? Who wants to go first with what they were planning for the day? Or the session, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll go. I'll go ahead and go first because
Okay.
my plan was because last time I met with one of the bad gods and quickly made my escape, heading towards home. Right?
Thome is how
I
it's
was heading towards
pronounced.
them.
But,
Home, yeah.
yeah,
My bad.
you good.
So yeah, so since I'm heading over there, and I know now that they're collecting an army, and you have a base, right? Like a castle base
A base
or
is a
something.
loose term for it.
It's,
Sure.
it's the toppled remains of a skyscraper.
Yeah. But we're fixing
Okay.
it. We're fixing it.
Yeah, I would probably plan to help fix it and make it technologically secure as possible.
Okay. In that case, why don't you go ahead and, so what would be your first priority? Would it be fortifying the base itself, or is there something else you'd have in mind?
I would probably have. Hmm. Oh, that's a good question. Well, since they know now that at least there's me, a newer god, trying to make change, uh, he would probably build something kind of like a cloaking device for the area to try and like hide it from
Hmm.
view
Okay.
of people who like don't know it's there.
Hmm. All right. Uh, I guess go ahead and give me a skill roll with your divine dice since it's your domain.
Gotcha. I choose this one as the divine dice. Roll. All right. Ooh. Okay. Oh well, that's not that good actually. Okay. Okay. So I got 2 5s out of the not divine, and then a 5 on the divine.
Okay. So that is a total of 3 successes, one of which was a divine success. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna say, given that, it wasn't an actual success on the roll, but it was a, I don't remember the term for it in the game. Let me take a look. Divine dice. Where's it talk about that? Hmm.
I thought the part with Divine Dice was that it just had a wider range for success.
No, see, when you so your divine dice can have a wider range for success, but it doesn't inherently. Um, However, when you succeed on your divine dice, it has a different effect on the roll, depending on the situation. Hang on, let me see
Oh yeah, you
here.
get to describe if you do it right, you get to
Oh.
describe that you
Oh,
did it
okay.
right.
It does actually have a wider range of success inherently. Divine dice have success range is 4 to 6.
Yeah,
I
that's what I thought.
did not recognize that. But it also means if they roll a success on the divine dice and wins the resolution roll, they get to narrate a boost, a bonus effect to the intended result of the action. If
Yeah.
they lost the resolution roll, but still rolled a success on the divine dice, then a slip occurs. A slip means the character didn't succeed as intended, but the player still gets to narrate an opportunity that arose from their misfortune. So, you try to build this cloaking device to keep
Mhm.
the what is it? To keep folks. Hang on, is my Discord is still? Yeah, it's still working. Okay. Could somebody say something real quick?
Something.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Oh, my mic was muted.
Um, so blanking. You try to make a cloaking device. However,
Mhm.
the biggest issue with staying undetected in this world is that the best things that detect you are not people. Never have been.
Mhm.
It's water. It's roots. The plants, the ground, the fluids of this world are all watching you constantly. There's not a lot you can do to cloak against that. People need water. People need to walk on land. They can't exactly fly everywhere like Nasa can. They will know that there's a large gathering of people here. There's not a whole lot that you can do about that. But in trying to research ways to cloak yourself against that, you were able to do something else instead. What was it?
Okay, so in the process of trying to make a cloaking device, I failed to do that, but I made something else in the process. Uh, can it be like anything else, or does it have to be in the vein of the cloaking?
Something that you could have been inspired to make, or something that trying to make a cloaking device would, nudge you into. Like, say, I don't know, maybe a countermeasure against one of those gods, one of the ones that
Yeah.
can actually detect you. And this isn't so much something that you make automatically as it is a different idea, an opportunity emerges.
Then I would probably. Man, that's a little difficult. I would probably try to make boots then that make it very hard to be noticed by plants then.
Okay.
Since I can't countermeasure all of it, I'll try my best to countermeasure the most, or at least one of them, which is plants.
All right. I'll say, as a result of your slip, you're able to make one pair of those boots.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, you can go ahead and add that to your gear, whatever you want to name a pair of boots that make handles plants more effectively. I suppose since we're already on the whole uh fortifications route, Foam,
Yes, sir.
you said that you were going to be training your new army, for lack of a better word.
Yep, my little battalion.
Yeah. Was that just going to be your main focus for the session, or did you have like anything to add onto that?
He wants to try to train these people as best as he can. His thought is that him and Ares together can probably weed through the people and find those with the most knack for this, most talent, train them up especially, and then send them to communities, hopefully with Nace's help, because she could fucking fly people, where there's a lot of people, to just kind of spread the word. If I come across a horse at any point, that would be ideal.
Okay. Then in that case, so that actually takes up a set of different circumstances to it. So you have managed to ally yourself with Ares, which is going to help you out in the training department. I think, why don't we start with you picking out the ones that seemed the most physically adept. Let's start with should I just make that a skill roll?
Skill or aura, maybe?
I think I'll make it a skill roll, because aura is your socially interacting with other people. It is not necessarily like you reading other people per se. Or, well, I don't know. I'll leave that up to the table. What do you guys think? Our remaining muted parties. What do you think about this one?
I'm sorry, I had my
If
mic
I had to
muted.
say, I could definitely see aura being part of it. Talking, conversing, engaging how capable they are while doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking aura could work.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't listening. I was talking to a person that walked in.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
That's all right. We kind of have our consensus. So,
Sounds good to me.
all right, then it'll be an aura check. I guess, yeah, I think you would be able to use your divine dice for this because it is gauging someone's inherent talent for battle. So it makes sense to me that would be
So
involved.
aura and thing.
Mhm.
Aura. Okay, that's good. Maybe. Do ones do anything? Yeah, I asked the same question last time.
Ones do not do anything. It's
Okay,
not like you
fantastic.
fail any harder. Every dice except your divine die is only a success if it's a 5 or a 6. Your divine dice is a success on a 4 through 6.
Then I got 2 successes on non-divine and a 6 on my divine.
Okay.
Gross.
That's
So
only 3 successes.
3 successes. And one of them was a divine?
Yes.
For these guys, I'll count that as a success and a boost. So you just managed to find the folks that are the best suited to proper combat. And you get to narrate an additional thing that happens. So, in addition to finding the right guys in this group that are genuinely talented in terms of fighting, something else occurs. What is it?
So after the training and he speaks with Ares, they decide on their few champions, what to call them, who they're gonna send out. But particularly one stands out as they're going over to grab them. This man is already coaching the ones who aren't doing great. Someone who not necessarily bigger than the rest, just someone who knows how to talk to people to get them to understand what he's saying.
Okay. Cool. So we'll. Yeah, let me get a name for this guy real quick. All right. Um. So we'll call this person that you managed to track down, this individual who's like coaching the others. Um, Marcus. Make sure to note that down somewhere, because I will forget the name. Um, so you recognize Marcus as like a genuine. Ooh, this is helpful actually. So you were looking for people initially who just seemed to know how to hold a sword. Could like, at the very least, um, were ready to learn and clearly had interest in obtaining the skill. Um, what you found instead in Marcus was someone who naturally knew what it was to fight. Someone who, just in practicing, demonstrated moves that would be instant death blows for trained warriors facing against him. Marcus isn't just interested in learning. He is not just a dedicated student. He's a natural. Natural fighters are the people who become legends. You were a natural. Like Hercules was a natural. Ares, obviously, at like whatever point that he was considered mortal, was a natural. And to have been able to find one in this small group is kind of incredible in a way. Um, so yeah, that is definitely going to help you out with training this whole army, just knowing that you have a cornerstone on which to, you know, arrange it.
Yeah.
So you've got them picked out. Now I want to see how well you're actually able to train them. I think I'm gonna have you roll might for this one, just so we have you
Oh,
rolling two different ones. So you, through demonstrations of combat, are able to assist them properly. Because talking isn't going to help you better fight somebody, you know?
Yep. Divine dice.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. That's a lot of successes. Makes sense. I rolled a lot of dice. That's not as many successes as I thought it was. That's 3 regular successes, and I got a 4 on the divine dice.
Okay. So total of 4 successes training these guys? Yeah, I'll count that as a boost. You Yeah, under your tutelage, and with a little bit of help from Ares, he's not exactly in his prime. Uh, you manage to give these guys a very good education, kind of like a boot camp sort of deal, over the next couple of weeks. Um, During this time, uh, what would you say would be the boost you managed to earn as well. You've already got yourself a natural. Now, what else did you manage to score for your forces?
So training isn't always sword play and fighting. It's also cardio and working out joints and muscles.
Mm-hmm.
During one of these excursions, could they have found a cave or a deposit of some kind of mineral that we could use? Something to upgrade our tools.
I think you could, actually.
I don't
Yeah.
work for you, Otto.
On your way
I got
out,
you, Imber.
while you're looking around, you manage to find a deposit. We'll just keep it simple. You find an iron deposit. Something that will really help to upgrade your weapons from dinky old spears and stuff to something actually concretely ready for fighting. So, Otto, why don't you go ahead and make a skill roll to see how well you're able to make some weapons for these guys?
Yippers.
No pressure, Otto. Just my entire army depends on it. But
Yeah. Divine dice too, right?
Of course.
Sweet. Ooh. Okay. How many is that? All
Sound
right.
of a happy
And
salt
then
ache truly brings a joy.
here
to me.
is the divine dice. Oh, okay. So I have 3 6s and 1 5, and then the divine dice is a 4.
3 6s, 1 5. Divine dice is a 4. The exact numbers don't matter. You got 4 successes and then a success on the divine dice. That's a 5. That's definitely a boost. So you managed to make some fantastic weapons using the minerals provided. What is the boost that you also get alongside this?
Pretty good, solid armor, probably.
Okay, sick, yeah. You're able to use whatever's remaining of the bits and bobs of iron that you could let like dripped off of, smelting stations, to as studs for many sets of leather armor. Nice. Okay, yeah, that definitely with good training and good equipment. I think this works. Okay. So, you guys spend the next couple of weeks just training up your soldiers and training and equipping your soldiers, searching for some form of defensive option, and getting ready, even with your somewhat meager force of by that point you probably would have pulled together a bunch of folks from other settlements just by word of mouth. You'd have about like 300 people in this fortress, which isn't huge by army standards, but it's a lot better than the probably 100 souls from that one village on the mountaintop.
Yeah, this is amazing.
And that word of mouth just wouldn't have been possible without a certain dreamlike individual. Eureka!
Hi.
Your inspiration at the end of our first session managed to pull a lot of people, like a lot of people, including a certain transitioning individual by the name of Takrios. He, who was a she until not so long ago, has now written and sung songs, ballads, about you And not just you, but the folks that they've dreamed about, the others that you work with.
Oh. Real quick, how do you spell that name? So I can put it on my sheet.
Sure thing. You guys know me, I always put my own characters in these things.
Cool. Okie doke.
It's one of my favorite parts, so continue doing it.
Mm-hmm. So, when he probably would have headed straight for the, well, I'm gonna call your fortress the Bastille for the time being. You guys can feel free to rename it to something else. When he finds your Bastille, or your Fenn's Bastille, are you there to greet him?
Um, I've actually been wondering that to what degree I actually physically show up for people, because I feel like being too present defeats the purpose
Mm,
of my domain. So I am very sparing with how I use that. I like for our group and like for our friends here that we're forming, like it's a slightly different story because we're all kind of like on the same page.
mhm,
But if the people that are worshiping or revering me like are too used to me being around, I
mhm.
feel like I feel like that's counterproductive, and it loses the potency of like what I do. So I don't know if I necessarily greet him specifically, but he'll occasionally see like flickers of what he thinks is like someone familiar, like in a crowd. Like they
Okay.
might see a head, they might like at night see like something flying overhead,
And
like in the sky, but
yeah,
not like no deliberate like, hello, this is me. I may appear in
right.
a dream. That was my thought, was like I would most likely appear in dreams.
Okay. That makes total sense. All right. Um, in that case, yeah, they would have just, he would have gone where he was needed, and brought as many souls with him as possible. He has been singing, playing whatever instruments were available, um, and making poetry, just like about things he imagines you to be, having never actually seen your true form or gotten any full rendition of any of this. Um, like, I think based on what you described, even if you would count that dragon that showed up at the end of our first session as your true form, he doesn't. He
Sure.
he would have no reference for what you really are. Um, and he thinks that's wonderful. That's probably the best thing about you, is that he can just keep dreaming up different concepts. Um, so Takrios has essentially sworn himself to your service, like sworn to capture as many memories as possible so that no more are left behind, and craft as many stories and songs as he can, starting with recording yours. Um, he is your champion. You'll remember that I listed off a champion
Yeah.
that you managed to earn last session. That's
Mhm.
Takrios. Um, so while he's at home, uh, making sure to boost everyone's morale, what are you doing, while while
Yeah.
they're fortifying home base?
So with us sort of having like a home point now, um I was probably going to venture out into other places of the region, and maybe even like a like another part of the world that might be nearby, like a neighboring, whatever the equivalent of a nation exists now in this world. Like if because I remember, I think you mentioned something about we were we in what would be considered as California? No, you
You are
mentioned that.
currently the general area that you guys are occupying is kind of on the east coast of North America.
Okay. Okay.
I would probably assume.
Canada.
Mm, I was thinking more like the New York area,
Damn.
but
Like New England.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
like that would be where you guys could have skyscrapers and stuff.
Yeah. So I might even venture kind of like even like further south, maybe following the coast, just to sort of expand my horizons with how I know the world to be, see more of it, and see if I can find more examples like the places that birthed me, like other seeds of rebellion, places where people might be isolated or trying to already separate from the system that already exists, and see if there's others who need that spark of imagination that don't have it because they weren't close enough.
Okay.
Or,
So
or at least see like what else might be occurring
okay.
in similar regions.
So you are specifically seeking out people, correct?
Specifically people and groups of people.
Okay. Then I'm gonna count this as an aura roll under the
Okay.
same logic as our last one.
Okay. Um,
And I don't know if this would use your
I don't-
divine dice.
I don't think it would either because this is tangible.
Yeah.
This is very much a tangible thing.
Right.
Okay. One success, a couple very close rolls, but only one success.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fail.
Yeah.
You travel along the coastline seeking out more settlements. What you end up finding, though, is just a massive expanse of very, very little life. Like, there's woodlands, sure, there's lots of animals. There's plenty of animals. Like, nature is lush and growing out here. But in terms of human settlements, there's almost nothing.
Highly constrained to specific areas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I think from there, what I might try to do is at least if it's looking like it's gonna be an empty expanse, then I think what I might do then is try to just like see if I can glean from, if there's time, going back to where we were, kind of survey the groups, the settlement we did get people from, and see if I can glean, okay, if I'm looking for people in the future, if I'm trying to find other settlements, what do I need to look for to try to see like where other people might be? Or if, because I get the impression just from being here that like these groups don't know where other settlements are. They don't communicate. That much I think has mostly been told, I think, in our background
Yeah.
info. Like, yeah, they don't really. There's no like cross settlement
Right.
communication.
There's not really
They
like a
won't be able
trade
to tell
system.
me.
I'm pretty sure NASA would have told you that like most communication
Yeah.
between settlements is gone, so
Is
Right.
you would know that.
controlled. At least see sort of like
Where
at least
these
get a
people
lay of,
themselves came from, at least.
yeah, and kind of see, okay, like these settlements that were like sort of created by this pantheon, what kind of environment do they set these people in, and what tells can I see so that when I broaden my search later, I can kind of get a better idea.
Okay.
So I'll kind of like study the civilization as it is to sort of like see how it's set up and how it works.
All right. I think for this one, we'll call this. Oops, sorry. We'll call this a skill roll, because you're more taking like a wide view of
Yeah.
the civilization and looking at it from more of an anthropology standpoint rather than looking for people and dreams to foster. You know.
Yeah. All right. This is gonna be a lot harder. Yeah, one success. Yeah.
Okay. You that is a fail. but you wouldn't even need to roll necessarily to be able to tell where these people have come from.
Okay.
And that at least gives you some general directions to look at in terms of other settlements. And if there were settlements allowed in some areas, there might be more of them nearby. Or at the very least, it would give you a better idea of what signs to look for when you're seeking one.
Okay. I'll probably like use that as a basis for next time.
Right, right. So you spend some time looking around, searching for people, trying to get an idea of where people might be, but you're still pretty new to this world yourself. Obviously, you have the memories of the people that worship you and the people that you were born from to go off of, but those people themselves know very little about the way the world works. They've heard rumors and legends of all of these horrible monsters out in the wilderness and all of these terrifying disasters that can befall mankind if they're not careful. They've already shown an immense amount of bravery just leaving their homes to come here.
Yeah.
So they don't know a whole lot of what's out there. But you, in all of this time, what you find rather than other people, you find a warning that there are 4 barricades to escape from one of the communes, what they call the settlements that people are shepherded into these days. 4 barriers to escape. There is food. If you're away from the settlements, you do not collect any of the rationed fruits and vegetables that are grown by the gods.
Yeah.
Water. It will run from you without a settlement's approach. These are all legends, by the way, not necessarily true, but this is what people believe. Water will attempt to evade you, and without water, you will die faster than without food. The third is the land itself. The trees, the plants, they will work against you. Alongside the animals as well. They will do everything they can to stop you, is what the legends say. The fourth barrier is the Risen. Throughout the land, there are still some deceased humans that have been directed to go where the gods need them to be, to serve even after death, to better the world, and by better the world, they mean constrain mankind. If you manage to collect enough food, or bring enough food with you by stealing some rations from others, thereby condemning your own civilization for at least a few days, if not weeks, if you manage to secure a ready source of water, if you manage to avoid the dangers of the land, the Risen, with their eyes that can perceive the souls of humanity themselves, will find you. And you cannot kill that which is already dead.
Yeah. And those are their legends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can work with that.
These are tales that Nasa probably would have heard already over the years and years that she had been serving as one of the Plumerian Pantheon prior to her imprisonment beneath the ocean floor. But they're not exactly ones that she lends a lot of credibility to. Yes, she knows the Risen exists, but from what she recalls, Eisen, the one who wakes, chose to funnel as many of them as he could to a specific location in the world. The much greater dangers are the ones that the gods do not talk about. Yes, the land can hurt people, and people can be starved out. People can be kept away from their waters, but there were many illusions that she was, and vagaries that she was told about, or gestured in the direction of prior to realizing just how awful the Plumerarian Pantheon has been, that concerned Nasa. It has been many eons, so some of them are not quite concrete in her head, and she has no proof that these things are real. She could be succumbing to her own paranoia just the same way that humanity does. But they're worth investigating. So that is what she's going to do. Isn't that right, Nasa?
Yeah.
So, where do you want to start looking for answers?
Well, my original idea was to look around in like our immediate area first to get like a better grasp of like what's going on and what our situation is, not humanity's situation, our situation,
Okay.
and
Sounds good.
then move more west, try to like get a better coverage of the continent we're on.
All right. Then, given that this is a general surveillance of your specific area, and there's not exactly a specific perception, I'm just gonna put that down to a skill roll.
What skill?
The attribute skill.
Oh, oh no.
Yeah.
How many successes do I have to have for that?
That's a good question, actually. You are going to be using your divine dice for this.
I am?
The
Oh,
sky.
then I get to roll a second dice.
Wait,
Because my divine dice is a separate dice from my roll, my normal rolls. So I roll 2 dice.
wait, what is your skill stat?
1.
Oh,
We talked about this.
I forgot.
So I get 1 dice and then my divine dice, right? So I get 2 dice.
I'm gonna be honest. I completely forgot about that. Okay.
Crying.
Well, the good news is if you manage to roll a success on that divine dice, it'll be a slip. So I'm gonna be honest with you. There is no way Nasa is succeeding this roll on her own. Whatever amount of successes it would require is a lot more than just 2 dice. But you could land a slip, which would allow you to sort of stumble into something else, give you an opportunity to use a different attempt.
Didn't think about this.
All right, give me just a second. My headphones are off. I'm going to tie
Yeah.
my hair back because it's getting in the way.
Look at him with his man bun. Let's go. I too am the proud owner of a man bun. No one? Nothing? Really, guys? Come on. That one was
I
a
just
good
wanted,
one.
Suffer.
I wanted you to sit in that for a minute.
What it means, so
Okay, I'm back. And
want you to know.
that actually does remind me, because I was able to hear just a little bit. I do want to remind you all that you do not have to work separately on these things. If you need help for something, you have the right to ask for it in character.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Mesa's this is like one of the few times where I'm playing a character that kind of works alone. She doesn't trust her other teammates yet.
Fair enough.
I straight up did something praying Otto would help me. So like,
I know you
she's
did.
making this stuff.
I'm mostly reminding those of us who are recognizing their difficulties with certain things.
Yeah, although I feel like Eureka needs to find that out on her own.
Fair enough.
Well, Otto is the only one who's actually been up here longer than me, and like longer than any of us. So
Technically, yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go ask Otto a little bit about what they know, or if they have anything that maybe could help me.
Okay.
So where is Otto? Where do I find him?
At the
I am in
Bastille.
my bush.
Hmm?
At the Bastille, the base that they were just fortifying.
That's right. So she comes down out of the cloud, looking like a G as usual,
Mm-hmm.
and probably surprise Otto a little bit because she doesn't talk much.
Oh, hello, Cloud Lady. What brings you
Hello.
here today?
1 second, sorry.
Dog.
Nah. Okay, they stopped. She approaches Otto and says, I intend to go scouting to get a better lay of our land. Do you have anything that could assist me in all these? And she'll gesture to like his gadgetry,
Hmm.
these mechanical things.
Something to assist, huh?
Or well, she's not that too unfamiliar with mechanics, huh?
She's aware of their existence, but I don't think that she would have personally used a lot of them.
Yeah, no. But I mean, she was around a time where they were using nukes and stuff.
Right,
And that's where
right.
she, you know.
Yeah, I would honestly like, because I'm ruling basically that the previous age of mankind treated machinery like their development of science was their magic. Some civilizations focused more on magic than scientific discovery, and thus they were able to produce it. Whereas the quote unquote modern age pretty much just relegated magic to myth, and thereby did not have the ability to fend off the Plumerian pantheon when they emerged. So all of this basically to say that being like making use of a technological tool in this case, I would actually rule as allowing your skill roll to be to use spirit rather than skill.
Really?
Yeah. Science is
Oh.
magic.
Well. Does Otto give me anything then?
God, what exactly would help you out though?
Probably something that I can use to like survey the land better, get a better. So like my goal is to kind of take off like in our like to like scout in our area
Mm-hmm.
using the clouds and stuff.
So
Okay.
And
sorry.
like God, how do I even explain this? It's so hard.
So you're surveying the land from up in the sky, right?
Yeah.
Basically, the whole thing of it. Then I think he would make you a scope that would work a lot like a camera that you can
Okay.
print out images, or not exactly like print, but like
Yeah,
I
I
don't
get
know, like
you.
save on it basically.
Hmm. Okay.
He would also look towards you and be like, it is rather cramped here. Mind if I come with?
I will not say no.
Oh, then I'll take it as a yes. I'll work on this, and when it's done, I'll be ready to go.
All right. Then first, I want to get another skill roll from Otto for this creation.
Gotcha. Oops. Wait, is that the right amount? Yes. All right. 3 successes, 3 fails, and the divine dice is a 3 fail.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you're able to make the scope, but the making it a camera in addition to that, it's not beyond your capabilities, but like making the scope, giving it a camera, and making it compact enough to be able to bring on a trip is a little bit too much. On top of making weapons and armor for all of these other people, on top of trying to make this cloning tech, you basically tried to whip this up within the span of about 20 minutes or so. You're able to get a scope. You're not able to get it a camera.
Yeah, okay. And I would explain that to her then. Says, well, due to how busy I've been and how quickly we want to get this survey on the road, I was able to make the scope, but I can't. It doesn't have all the special attributes I promised. I still hope it'll help.
You'll be the one operating it, correct?
No, it's a gift. I made it for you, and so it's
But you
yours.
intend to come with me, I thought.
Of course, but I can also survey myself. As my little eye kind of zooms, does a little zoom in.
You feel like a small breeze press like against your face, so she can understand what it looks like. And she says, "Oh, I was not aware you could do that."
But you were. I
There
did it
is
to you when we
also,
first met.
I do also want to. I'm sorry. I just realized this now. Nasa's blind.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
she has a
that's right.
blindfold over her face. She can't see any of you. She has no idea what you look like.
Forgot I
But
saw an image of you once when we were first ever making these characters.
yeah. So yeah, Nasa's blind. She probably
So
wouldn't have outright said it, but it's pretty obvious if you ever actually look at her or feel the wind press against your face. That's her trying to see
So
what you look
if
like.
you're trying to give her something to use, scope would not have been the route. We're keeping your roll.
Yeah, that's why
3 successes.
That's why she assumed that he would be using it when he came with her. That's
Right.
why she was like, "Oh, so you're coming with me?
Right.
Okay, cool."
And I am registering Otto's intention to make you something that works for you. So I'm asking Otto, 3 successes. What do you make?
Oh man. Man, that's interesting.
Sorry, I had to make the complicated character.
Here, you think about that. I am
Yeah.
You know
going
what?
to use the restroom real quick.
I
Okay.
have a question for Otto as Nasa.
What?
So she wears a blindfold, right?
Mhm.
She also has these dark marks that kind of drip out from under her blindfold and then kind of fade away,
Mhm.
almost like smoke, but definitely more like oily and inky. Um, Probably wait till Jordan gets back, but I I wonder if there's a way that you could. No, he probably won't let it happen.
Well, just say it anyways.
I was wondering if there's like a way that like he could help her find a way to like restore her eyes somehow. Probably not until they kill the reason that she doesn't have anymore. But
Yeah, I would, because this is your blindness of divine reason,
yeah,
basically. Yeah, then yeah, there's probably no chance.
one of her old Pantheon mates did it to her before they, you know, chained her to the bottom of the ocean. Said, "Peace out, bitch."
All right, so I have an idea.
Hmm.
Not to help you in your eyesight.
Okay, I figured not. I figured not. That's not going to happen until way later. I'm certain.
I believe because Otto is so fucking smart mechanically
Hmm.
and shit like that, but he's very inept when it comes to other living beings.
Mhm.
I'm real. I can imagine he makes this fucking scope and he's like, "Here you go," and you're like, "Oh, I can't use that."
I feel like she would
And
embarrassedly say, I appreciate the gesture. I I'm sorry, but I'm unable to use this."
oh, why is that?
She like waves her hand over her face. "I can't see you or see anything."
And then that's when he learns what blindness is.
Okay.
That's how Otto learns what blind people are.
I can't believe I missed
Welcome
that.
back, sir.
I can't right
I
now.
hope that I hope that YouTube was recording that so you can see it later.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I left the stream on. Don't worry.
Oh heck yeah. So
Like that's honestly that is kind of my idea, but I mean,
here's the short answer. Or the short playback. Otto makes the scope, hands it to Nasa. Nasa's like, this is nice. I can't use this. And he's like, oh, blind people are a thing. She has to
I lived in
explain
a
to him what
bunker
blind
for a
is.
while, all alone.
To be
I know
fair,
what.
you lived in a bunker for a while all alone with a huge repository of research to be done on people's biology, but whatever. I'm cool with keeping this as is.
So yeah, that happens, and then now Otto is gonna try to like make something. I guess I have a suggestion. What if you just did the camera instead, and she could like use her clouds to like point it around in like her general vicinity before moving on to the next point.
Yeah.
And then someone else could observe what you take. That
Someone
could
else
work.
could observe what she can't see with just her wind.
That could work,
Me,
yeah.
hi.
I'll work with that. So rather
What's
than
today? Today's Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay, these ones. Oh, keep going. I'm still
no,
listening. Sorry,
you're good.
just getting meds.
Yeah. Sorry, I blanked. You make the scope, realize that it's not gonna work, and jump over to making just a camera now.
Yes.
I'm not gonna make you re-roll or anything. You're able to make a scope and a camera.
Perfect.
Not both together, but you don't need the second one anymore.
Nope.
Ye.
I will be.
All right.
And these are both gear, right? That I can have now.
Sure.
Easily.
Yeah. Oh wait, did Vern just stepped away? Didn't she?
No,
Nope.
I'm still here. I'm just walking around trying to find something, but I'm still listening. I still have my headphones on.
Okay. So, you guys get your gear put together and you head out on a scouting run. Because you are there together, I'm going to count this as a team roll. This is going to be our first team roll of the campaign.
Fogging.
So each of you has to roll me spirit.
Oh,
Sure.
thank God.
I'm going to say both of you have access to your divine dice for this because
Awesome.
Otto is using his creations. Nasa is working through the sky. So you guys roll, and the amount of successes that result from team rolls are cumulative. So
Oh, cool.
if, say, Otto gets 4 and Asa gets 5, that's a total of 9. Just as an example.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. How much spirit you got there,
I got
friend?
3.
Cool. Same.
How much do you got? 3? Heck yeah.
Mm,
And then we
mm.
also get divine dice.
True.
Mhm.
I'm gonna roll my normal
Alright.
dice first.
I
I got
have
2
a question for
successes.
you, DM.
What's up?
When they left, would it have been something Thome could have seen?
Yeah.
While you all are leaving, he's probably standing pretty regally talking to somebody. All of the noble air goes away as he slams his hands on like a rampart or just like up one of the buildings and screams out, "If you happen to find a horse and feel inclined, please bring it home."
Nasus just like stares in his general direction.
He just belts that to the world.
Wait,
We're not
Thome,
bringing this man a horse.
Yeah.
Thome, I want you to roll an aura check on that.
All right.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Do I sit here
can't
and go,
wait
horses
for
are
it to
used
be-
in battle? I can. I'm not using my divine dice for this, unfortunately.
Yeah, no divine dice here.
Oh God, yeah, 3 successes.
Okay.
I'm so good today. I can't wait for a fight to happen. And I die.
Right.
All right. I'm just gonna leave that roll where it is. Returning to the scouting mission.
So I rolled 2 successes and then a 4 on my divine dice. I think that's a success.
That is a success, yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
And Otto, what you get?
I got 1 success on the regular ones, and for my divine, not a senior, just 1 success from me.
So
Hmm.
total of 3 successes and 1 divine success from Vern. Let's see. Sure. We'll net that as a boost. So so you're trying to survey the general area, correct? Just trying to figure
Yeah.
out what's going on around the
there.
base.
Kind of their like territory, like just like I want to see like what's on the edges of it, like what's within it, what are we working with here?
Right. So
This is probably what she did for the previous Pantheon too, was scouting.
uh,
Fly.
it would be, you would have done some scouting, and you also would have been one of the main adjudicators. So
Yes.
you and fucking what's his name, Sarkuth, would have pulled like double duty on administering punishments and making sure laws are being followed. Sarkuth is definitely more the punishment happy person. So you did everything you could to survey whatever you could.
Yeah.
Currently, you are applying those skills just to figure out what exactly is going on.
Yeah.
And
No bark.
what you find, you do not like.
Oh, great. One sec. I'm so sorry. Keep talking. I'm just gonna mute my mic when I'm not talking.
Just as Eureka saw, there are not many settlements besides the ones you already know. And the ones you already know have become more or less vacant as a result of people rushing to join your ever-growing posse, your ever-growing army in the Bastille. What remains is a vast expanse of overgrown forest and wildlife. You notice that wolves, after being driven almost to extinction, are now very well populated once again, which is nice to see. You also notice that... How do I put this? You also notice that those wolves, when they see you, when their eyes turn in your direction as the
Oh no.
wind ruffles their fur, they do growl.
Okay.
You're high up in the air. They can't hurt you.
Still, they're gonna tell their master. I can feel it.
She works through plants, not animals.
And
Who do they have to tell?
fair. You know what? That's actually fair. I didn't
No,
actually
anyways, I
talk
still
to
pull
them.
out my hunter's rifle. Oh, just kidding.
Slowly pulls out my scythe.
Oh boy.
I almost made a really bad joke.
First,
Can't do that on YouTube.
First, you notice the wolves.
Okay.
Well, actually, first you notice the lack of people. Then you notice the wolves. And then you notice the corpses. As the two of you are riding on a cloud above it all, you spot one of the risen slowly making its way across the land. The risen
Ooh.
are not zombies, not in a conventional sense. Their bodies do not rot. They do not decay. They show no sign of aging from the moment of their death. They also show no life. Their skin still kept to, like, strictly to their skull. While they do not decay, they also do not eat, and therefore their muscles atrophy. But the muscles are not necessary for movement. Sheer mana flows through their bones, replacing sinew and muscle tissue, allowing for what is essentially a skeleton with skin. Their eyes still sunken, staring without seeing evermore. But they do not move sluggishly or slowly. They walk like a normal human would. And they are not without proper motor control. The one you watch is holding an axe. A simple hand axe. You're not sure where he got it from. Trees are not to be cut in this land. All houses are built by the gods, and they only build as much as any settlement needs. But he does have one. And so does the next one you see. And the next. As you move further and further westward, you see risen after risen after risen. The numbers are in the tens, and then they're in the hundreds. You eventually find what appears to be not so much a sea as it is a river of what used to be living, breathing humans walking eastward, directly in the
Towards the
same
bestial.
trajectory as your home base.
Ah, God, no.
It was only a matter of time before you were discovered. And to a certain extent, you should be grateful they didn't immediately send Sarkuth.
Fair.
But just from your counting, you estimate the number of the invading force to be roughly 3,000 strong.
Oh,
Oh, that's a lot. Oh no.
It's a lot.
That's bad. That's real bad.
Now,
The
Ye-
worst part is if our people die, they join those numbers.
you you did manage to roll a boost for the success. What is the other thing you managed to gain or do from all of this?
Before I make this, I have a question to ask first.
Mm-hmm.
Do I already know how to deal with the Risen? Do I know how to, like, can I just kill them?
They break more or less the same as any human. Functionally speaking, you are looking at an army of 3,000 people. So anything that would kill a normal human being will render a Risen completely unusable.
Okay. So, say I just took my scythe and just ripped it through them. That would kill them, right?
It would.
And then they would know that I'm here.
They would.
Nasa will use her wind to feel all of this going on below. And Otto can probably tell her what exactly is there.
Oh yeah, in an excited tone, by the way. Completely excited to see this interesting thing and many pictures.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem. This is not. I didn't expect them to send it so early.
As interesting as it is rather horrifying to look at all of them.
Yes.
But at least we saw them now in time to prepare.
Yes, we do have time to prepare.
For where they are and how they're moving, how long would they take till they get to us?
To the bastion, to the Bastille.
Yeah.
You estimate that you have until nightfall.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
God, that's fast. Okay, we're booking it back home.
Yep.
Okay, so we get back home.
Mm-hmm. That you do. Within just a few seconds, you zip your cloud
that's
back
remember
to the
just picking that
Bastille.
up. Immediately going to look for Thome because he's the battle man.
Yep.
Cloud immediately just bursts in wherever he's at, and they step out.
The second he sees the cloud, he's probably just speaking to some of the troops about something, or like moving things around. His eyes light up and he takes a step forward with a big smile. I take it you found the horse then?
Nope.
No, but
Oh.
even worse news, I'm certain for you.
He holds out a picture like he's a kid who drew something and he's showing his dad.
Dad, look at this. You put it on the fridge.
Oh my god.
Would the Risen have been something he was told what they are by you guys?
Yes,
Cool.
Nasa would have told you. Yes.
He walks over and
Sorry, Eureka, you were gonna say something?
Oh no, I was yawning. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, continue, Thome.
he walks over and takes it, stares at it for a second. Oh, and then he lifts it to his face, and that cheery smile goes away, and he gets a very serious look. Oh. He then looks at both of them. Not to pull rank here, but he then turns to Otto. Find Ares, get that man a real axe. Ready him for battle. Nisa,
Yes.
I don't think Eureka's on the grounds. Find her.
She
Yeah, I was gonna
nods
say
and
at this point,
hops
would
into her
I
cloud.
be returning back, or would I already be there?
Well, we'll say that you actually are on the grounds. You're just keeping yourself concealed really well.
Yeah.
Just Eureka's not here. Opens the door. Actually,
Mythical dragon.
She like takes 2 steps out, looks to her left, and looks back at them. Found her.
Put like a gecko on the wall.
she's just eating a cheese
I mean,
sandwich. It's like,
I wouldn't like purposely stay hidden or anything from like my allies. It's mostly just like I don't want to be like among the people
It's-
fully like, hi, I'm Eureka. What's up? You know.
Yeah.
A, there's not a lot of space in here. B, if you're trying to stay
Yeah.
hidden from humans, odds are good you're gonna stay hidden from these
Yeah.
godlings.
Or if y'all are having a hubbub, I would probably make myself known at that point. Though I'd probably be
Yeah.
like, "What's up?"
Oh,
Um,
I was just coming to get you.
there's an approaching. He then looks back. There's an approaching force. Looks back at the photo. Army. Approaching army.
Now,
Now.
They'll be here by nightfall.
okay. Well, that wasn't on my bingo card.
I don't think it was on
a
anyone's.
bingo card.
Don't worry about it.
He looks at both. He looks at everybody. Otto. First Ares, then. If you have time, make something.
First Ares, then the bitches. Sorry.
I don't know if. He looks at Nasa. I assume you're going to fight with me. Are you a frontline combatant or?
I think Nasa's mic is muted again.
I continue to someone else. He turns to Eureka and
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Okay. He looks at Nasa. I assume you'll be joining the battle, but are you a frontline
course.
combatant?
I'll do what's necessary.
But
Are you going to be charging them with us?
That was my intention.
Wonderful. Me, you, and Ares should talk strategy then. He then turns to Eureka and just like goes to talk, and then just tilts his head and stares. I don't know what to ask you to do.
She kind of like matches his head tilt and goes, "What do you want to do?"
This is a fight.
Okay.
Can you fight?
Oh, I can fight. And she kind of giggles. I can also buy us some time. How much do you need?
As long as you aren't going to be harmed in the process, as much as you can give. We have to rally the men, arm the men, rally them a second time, get into formation. I don't have and then he goes, we don't have horses.
Okay. I've got a plan. Give me like a couple of minutes. Oh, do you need to rally them a third time though? That'll matter.
No, the 2 times should matter. The 2 times should be enough.
She snaps. Perfect. I have an idea of something I would want to do
sure.
as far as prep. I want to see if I can buy time by trying to create a distraction that's like a 90-degree angle from where they're marching.
Mm.
Like kind of how I like at a smaller scale, like a similar kind of like illusory like thing. Obviously, we don't know. They know roughly where we are from a few different interactions we've had between the glamour and between Otto, but I don't know if they know specifically where we are or what our base looks like. So I'm gonna try and see if I can glamour up the appearance of like a fortress that's like slightly like cattywampus to where we are, and maybe create and maybe even fire off my breath weapon from a distance to make it look like a volley is being fired from what is a fortress, but in reality it's just me going there, popping an illusion, and then trying to rejoin everyone.
You know, I wonder if Otto could give everyone fog goggles, and Nasa can create a fog for them to fight in.
Okay, it is here. They're coming in, and they're going to be here by nightfall.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
can't do it in daytime. That's a
and
bad idea.
it is 300 people.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
I sort of create the idea that they're attacked, and then if this force has any kind of vision that they're able to use themselves, or my hope is
they
that
can see
Eureka
it.
can, yeah, the hope is that Eureka can create an impromptu
I
attack, and
yeah,
then have them hope that what they see is a fortress, like a small
right.
fortress, not even big,
Right.
but just like an encampment.
Go ahead and roll spirit.
Okay, I will. I know the chances aren't super high, but it's like it doesn't even have to be that far away.
I get the idea you're going for. Roll
Okay,
spirit.
Okay.
This is
All right,
so
so,
fucking tense.
Can I
So
use my
tense.
divine die for this?
Yes, you will be using your divine die for this. You're attempting to make them imagine there is something there.
3 successes. The divine dice failed.
Okay. You glamour up this image of a medieval fortress, just top to the nines, off in the distance, and shoot off your breath weapon into the sky. What is your breath weapon like?
It's the way I had it described on my sheet was a breath weapon of dazzling light and kinetic energy. So I think of it like, not necessarily like white fire. You know, like I forget what it's called. You know, in Thor, I forget the guardian thing, how it shoots that sort. It's like a beam, and it has that really like crazy sound, and it just looks like yellowy fire energy. It's
Okay.
like if that were light. So it's kind
Are
of like
you
a beam.
attempting to actually hit them with this?
No.
Okay.
I'm mostly just trying to make it look like an attack was made, maybe even haphazardly. Just like something you were attacked, general direction, not trying to actually like inflict critical harm.
All right, cool.
Accuracy is not important.
So you fire this off in their general direction. They stop when they see all of this, turn to each other. A third of their forces break off and move towards you. The rest continue on.
Okay, that helps. It's something.
Okay, that's great.
It's something.
That's great.
And then I'll just swiftly return back.
Okay. So nice. Who else was Otto? You said Otto was going to give Ares an actual axe, something to use.
Yeah, ideally use his axe head and make him a handle effectively.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. You can just do that. Like, I'm not gonna make you roll for that. That's easy as pie, unless you want to do something special with it.
Good question.
If you want to do something special with it, you are going to be taking time away from any other defensive stuff unless you use your stopwatch.
Yep. Ooh, fuck. Okay, this is gonna change how I do it. This is not for his axe head or his axe, but for something else I had planned. Have we, when we went into those mines and we found like the iron and shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
have we discovered gunpowder?
No.
Did we discover anything like that? Nothing?
Nope.
Okay.
You've
Alright,
seen.
so no effective way to create explosives.
Yeah, no, those are very. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Then I would go ahead and make him a special little new axe. Man. I want to make it. I want to have an engine on it, basically, to where he can flip something or like click a button and it increases like the impact by a metric fuck ton.
Okay.
So like at least possible to like I don't know break ground in front of him basically.
Interesting. Interesting. All right. Go ahead and are you going to be speeding yourself up to make this, or are you saving that for a different thing?
Uh, God, if only we had infinite resources, guys. Okay. Uh, I would use my clock on that. Yeah, my stopwatch.
Okay. Then go ahead and roll skill.
Oh boy. Divine, right? Divine
Yeah, of
dice?
course.
Oh yeah, it's creation, of
Pretty
course.
much any time you make something, you're adding your divine die.
Okay. Okay. That's not bad. Divine. Cool. All right. 4 successes and a success on the divine.
God damn. Okay. That is definitely a boost. So you're able to make this engine thing and attach it to like his axe. How else are you gonna boost this thing up? Or what else are you gonna make on top of it?
What else I would make on top of it? uh, I want to boost it by by its. God, this is. I want him to being able to do basically like a slash that he could do that goes a distance. Like
Hmm.
basically like a projectile.
I know exactly how to work this. So you create a handle,
Mm-hmm.
and you make just the handle, by the way. You
Mm-hmm.
don't even attach it. You walk it over to Ares. He looks at you like, okay, why? You could have just asked for my axe head. He holds his axe head out to you. You just press the handle up against it. It attaches immediately. Then you uh, press a few buttons. There's a beep, beep. You pull it away, and he's like, wait, what are you doing? You step back a few steps, press another button. The axe head flies towards the handle and attaches.
Mm.
And he blinks immediately, two and two, like one and one click together. He walks up, grabs the handle, and says, "You are a small, frail, and breakable creature, and you will give me many victories."
That's the plan. I hope to see how powerful you are. I've heard a lot about it. I'll be
he,
counting how many you kill as I walk away.
oh, don't worry. He takes the handle, and like with his new beautiful mechanical axe, he looks down and smiles brightly. So will I. All right. Cool.
And then,
What else did you want to make? Yeah.
okay, so I want to make 2 things. One thing is very minor, and I'm gonna give it to you now,
Mm-hmm.
just in case like this is something that would take time or not. He runs around, he finds a metal pole that's in this building, takes it out, and he finds basically cloth and the neatest cloth he could find possible,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to make a flag for this army that we have.
Okay. Huh. Um.
And I want the design he would put on a top hat with a sword kind of going through the brim of it, and a dragon flying around the handle of the sword, and a scythe around the brim or around the center of the top hat, colliding with the sword to symbolize all of us.
Okay.
And I I want that to be able to like I was hoping it could give some kind of morale boost to everyone
That's gonna
in
be
some
an
way.
aura roll.
I could do
I
that.
think Nasa would actually ask for her scythe to not be on there.
Okay. Then I would just do like kind of like a representation of
Or
Windman.
maybe she
if I
would
want
ask
that.
why it's on there.
Just to symbolize you and your power.
I wonder if scales would be better than a scythe.
And
Unless you already drew it.
Eureka may walk by as you're doing that, and she'll just whisper, "Make the dragon bigger," and she just walks away.
Yeah.
I love her.
You could have clouds swirling around the dragon.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
And then the dragon wrapping around the sword.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I can do an aura. By the way, I'll happily do an aura.
Okay. Then yeah,
Like a
go ahead
top hat
and
as the pommel.
roll aura with your divine dice.
Sweet divine. All right, I have a +4 in aura, so it's actually not too bad. Or not +4, but 4 dice. Okay. So 2 successes,
Mm-hmm.
and then a success on the divine dice, a 6.
Cool.
Dude, I'm gonna make out with this dice, this divine dice.
Yeah, you
I've been
are.
using. I fucking love this dice.
Yeah, you
So
better.
2 successes and a divine. All right.
Yes.
Um, you know what? Yeah, I think that's just barely enough. You managed to land another boost. You make this flag. You raise it up atop the Bastille. Um, a bunch of people like looking back are confused for a second, wondering what the hell that is. But as Ares is like walking out with his flashy new axe, and people are like bowing their heads and pressing their fists to their chests and whatever, he just looks around, jabs his finger at them, and it says, "1, not your leader. 2, never seen a flag before." And he's just whistling, carrying his axe to war. So that gets like kind of the echo going around as people like stare in awe at this flag for a few seconds before going back and rushing to whatever it is they were doing. So that's what I say happens. You got a boost. What else happens?
God. What kind of boost would a flag have? Okay. Man, I really have no idea for a boost for that day. Does anyone else have an idea?
I think, if it's all right with you,
Mhm.
I'm going to pass your boost along to Thome.
Okay.
Ayo.
Thome, when this flag is raised, you have an opportunity for a speech.
Oh God.
Speech.
Once it's raised and planted, he stares at it, gives Otto a smile, and like claps him on the back. Stands so that everyone can see him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he whistles excessively loudly to get everyone's attention. By this point, the news of what's happening has probably already spread.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fight is imminent. Alright. I got most of this written. I'm fine. He looks at everybody. Brave souls of this outnumbered few, listen up. We stand upon the edge of destiny, our backs against the rampart we built with our own hands. Our numbers may be dwarfed by this overwhelming shadowy horde, but we hold a power that no enemy can measure. this unbreakable strength of our resolve and the fierce fire of our spirit. They come with numbers, yes, but we come with something far greater, something that can't be contained or counted. We continue with the weight of our homes, families, dreams, and hopes. Each one of us here represents a beacon of courage that defies the darkness that threatens to engulf us all. Today we fight not only for survival, but for the future that we will shape with our own bravery. Every strike we make today, every stand we hold, and each one of us who is sacrificed, will be a testament to the truth that even the small flicker of humanity can still ignite into an inferno. So let them come with their legions. Let them bring their numbers in the vastness of all the stars. We will stand firm, united, and unyielding. For everyone here knows it is not the size of the army that dictates victory, but the size of the size of the hearts who fight. And our hearts are unbreakable. Our spirits be indomitable. He unsheaths his sword and raises it up. Today we show the world, even in the face of overwhelming odds, we are not merely fighters. We are humanity. Forward with honor for those of us who could not defend themselves prior. Let today be a lesson that humanity can still fight back.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not even one of them soldiers. I'm inspired, bro.
I'm ready.
Let's do
So
this.
you
Time to kill.
you're already gonna have a boost on that. I still want you to roll aura, and I'm gonna let you use your divine dice because there's so much honor in that shit.
Alright. 4 plus divine. Oh, okay. Divine, carry me. Yeah! That's 2 successes and a success on the divine.
Cool. You're already getting a boost. Fuck it. If the flag succeeded on a 3, the speech succeeds on a 3. You are gonna have 2 extra effects alongside the general morale boost that you are able to produce. 2 other things happen. What are they?
That's a good question.
I have a question. Are we indoors when we're having this?
Some of you will be, others would be setting up like outdoor fortifications as best they could, just like generic, probably wood logs or something. What's up, Otto?
I was just saying, like, maybe at least discussing this with Nil. Maybe like one of the boosts could be it, like they get more encouraged and more efficient, and like they build more effective barricades and traps and stuff like that.
That's a pretty good. They're better.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Please do.
I have been keeping my presence pretty hidden most of this time. What if I like show up and land and I like roar, like in a draconic form?
Fucking sweet.
Nace is like off to the side watching from atop her cloud. The smallest smile breaks.
Okay. Dope. So, in addition to all of that, like people are furiously building up fortifications, and at the apex of that speech, Eureka emerges in full. How would you describe your dragon's form, actually? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I described it as a blue and purple pearlescent dragon. Specifically, it would probably be like when you think of a Western dragon, rather than like a lung. So like a bluey, purpley, pearlescent appearance.
Cool.
Pretty.
You emerge from the top of this broken down spire, above the flag raised, and into the sky, directly before the sun, spreading out your shadow below, and reach the land and roar, having just returned from distracting the other forces. The remaining men, women, and others who stand as part of your waiting force of 300 strong uh, watch in watch in awe. I'm not Australian.
Mhm.
And in particular, one individual, a makeshift lyre across his slender shoulders, smiles and begins to play a fast, rushed tune to push people along in their efforts. Um, you guys have definitely gotten them inspired, and they are now aware that they're gonna have a goddamn dragon on their at their back. Um, Nasa, or I suppose Thome and Nasa would be having conversations about like tactics and stuff, wouldn't they? But is there something else
Probably.
that Nasa wants to do in addition to that?
And so she wants to hear his plan first because she was never the. She's good in combat, but she wasn't the tactician. She was the scout.
Sounds good.
With such an imposing force before us, a head-on fight is suicide, even if we have more skilled fighters.
Mm.
300 to 3,000 isn't anything. However, there is a simple and effective way to tilt it back on our sides. Choke points.
Ares
Funnel
nods approvingly immediately.
Funnel them into a small area where their numbers mean nothing. Then, we can cover each other. Slash, retreat ground, push back, repeat. Over and over. We cannot. He mostly looks at Ares for this one. We cannot let the heat of battle take us. I know breaking their line is important, but we cannot infiltrate it. I don't think any of these Risen can actually take you down, or any of us down. But 3,000 men is 3,000 men. And if our line breaks, all of us need to be there.
If possible, 'cause I'm trying to think of other things I might want to do as we lead up to the battle.
Mhm.
I think Eureka might be looking at, because it's pretty much like forest into like abandoned city space, right? Abandoned, overgrown city space.
Yeah, so currently the area directly outside of you, your Bastille, is just like the outskirts of New York City. Um, the what lies beyond that is just overgrown forest, pretty much. So, you bring up choke points, and Ares nods, points to several pieces actually that would be just immediate physical spaces, alleyways left behind from the rubble. If we set defenses and patrols there, we'd be the most likely to use the terrain to our advantage. However, the problem with the architecture of this past civilization, he points to several windows in each of these buildings, is that it contains very obvious and easily breakable entryways and exit points. I don't suppose either of you have any ideas as to how to remedy the situation.
Unless Otto can whip up something quickly. No, I don't think so. He's already got his hands full.
Well, he Thorn goes well, and then goes back on his words. He thinks it over in his head, grumbles a little and sighs. We could trap the locations. Rudimentary ones that are mostly there to slow down. But from what I've heard of these Risen, they're not very tactical. They'll decide on a decision, and before they can fully understand what's happening, several of them will fall down a, let's say, quite large pit, or makeshift spikes that will fall from the ceiling, stuff like that. Nothing fancy, but if enough of them get stuck, that entry point is useless.
Hmm.
As long as we pose the idea that the broken glass and windows aren't viable for entry, the idea of a risk might make them just want to use their sheer numbers and force us into a poor position, which will be in the emotions this straight away.
Eureka, would you say that you are close enough to listen to this conversation?
Yeah, I was thinking she might interject when there's a lull. Because she has an idea of the magical nature, of an imaginative nature, of she keeps thinking about how the enemy uses nature and roots and plants to sort of be able to, limit people's paths and control things. And she thinks about how we're kind of surrounded by concrete and metal and glass, which is a much less elegant kind of coverage of space, but it is still one. And she thinks, yeah, but what if we could do something like that? What if we could cover? What if we could protect ourselves with this? What if we just didn't have to worry about these windows? And she imagines concrete and stone literally covering up some of these holes, like rising to provide literal barricades.
Okay.
Reshape the concrete basically through magical means.
Go ahead and roll that spirit.
Okay.
I think I'll be nice and allow the divine dice here.
Okay. So what you hear from her is she's like, yeah, but what if we didn't have to deal with those windows? And we'll see what happens from that. Oh my. Hold
Be
on.
good, oh my?
Oh no.
4 successes, including the divine die.
Let's fucking go!
Nice.
Oh well, you know what? I'm just gonna take my idea and yeet.
Sorry.
No, I would rather her be focusing on combat than trying to sow discourse. Unless she could make a fog and just bounce around inside of it to lessen their numbers, but I think her working alone might be dangerous.
I mean, I am spirit driven. Magic and changing forms is what I do.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I had similar ideas.
So
I was thinking about that, but we'll cover that. We'll carry that or handle that bridge when we get there.
yeah. So you just say, what if we just didn't have to worry about all of that? And they all look over at you, and I think Ares himself chuckles and says, "Great dragon, I'm sure you're quite powerful, but let's leave the tactical knowledge to the professionals, right? Now then, what to do about... Where are the windows?"
She just kind of winks.
Don't smiles
as clever as
wide
ever.
and just chuckles and just, Eureka, thank you for being you.
That is, and Nasa tries to feel where the air was coming from, and it's not coming from it anymore, and she's a little upset. That is something indeed.
It was extremely effective.
Terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
So we have choke points. We don't have to worry about the small entry points anymore. Alright. Now we have to figure out of where we're stationed.
I do have a question.
Uh-huh.
This fight will be happening at night, won't it?
Yes.
Ugh. Okay. Do you think... God, this is really hard to think about.
I'm going to message you something, Mr. DM.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Salty. Sorry.
Do you think in the remaining time after making that flag, I would have enough time to scrounge around, find as many light bulbs as possible, and find a way to basically make a massive ass fucking light to light up like as much battleground as possible, but using myself as the source?
You will have the opportunity, but it'll basically be as the fight is starting that it actually manages to pull off.
That's fine as long as I can get it done.
Yeah. So that's definitely something you can work on. I guess go ahead and roll your skill roll with a divine while we discuss more things with the strategy. So, you have a long, broken, large road running just along. Let me actually. I've been drawing this up. Let me go ahead and pull it up.
Ooh,
He
shit.
drew it for us.
So, there's definitely more to this place than just this. This is your Bastille. Notice the
Okay.
broken pieces up at the top there. For oh, this is actually not accurate. Hang on.
Mr. Whiteboard Man.
It would basically be, excuse me, a series of other buildings, perhaps large, perhaps small. Actually, no, this would be accurate because they would be behind the others. Yeah. In varying sizes
Mhm.
of stories and length and width and all of that. So don't take these boxes to heart. But basically, you're gonna have a series of alleyways here that you could select as choke points if you manage to figure out a way to block off the road. However, that's going to be very difficult. Alternatively, you could block off these alleyways, making the road their only option. Now, that would make things a lot easier. It would definitely be easier to set up, but it would also allow for a lot more opportunity for them to break through. Because it's a lot harder to keep a perimeter set up around this road than it would be to keep it set up in these alleyways. You would only need maybe like 20 people per alleyway, kind of moving back and forth, bringing their spears to bear. Spears so that they have the reach advantage, obviously. Whereas with this, you would need at least 100 people lined up all across the road at all times to ensure nobody breaks through. And if, say, a couple of people in like this section were to be taken out, your enemy immediately has a flank and can start breaking through the line. So, given your allotted time, focusing on using the road as your point of focus is going to be the easiest, most efficient thing for you to do. It will also be less effective than this, focusing on the alleyways and finding a way to block the road entirely. Make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
So our decisions are between road, which is easier to set up but harder to maintain, or the alley point choke points, which are harder to set up but easier to maintain.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, and to answer your question,
Ooh.
Vern,
Basil,
Your mic
Basil,
is
Basil.
getting a
Your
little
mic
Oh.
is a
crazy.
crispy, crackling,
okay, hang on. Is
snap,
that better?
crackle pot.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Hello.
Okay. So to answer your question, Vern, it depends on what the narrative needs at the time. Remember,
Oh,
this
okay,
is
cool.
not
Never
this
mind.
is not a strict rule system. Think of this less like D&D and more like Monster Hearts.
Okay, cool.
Could we
So
possibly turn the road into like put a massive trench in the road, basically?
Good. Yeah.
that was going to be my plan, actually.
mm,
Make a giant dugout, and then if they actually want to come on the road, they have to go through the dugout. But while they're going through the dugout, we can have 50 or so guys, and probably one of the gods, just to make sure that line is held. Or in actuality, have a bunch of people and an Ares in the hole, so that every time people they come in, they'll probably trip. It's going to be a big ass hole. They have to come through the hole, go through strong units, and even if they somehow get by, there's a bunch of people with spears covering him.
There is.
Oh god.
Sorry, there's one factor that I forgot to touch on. Nasa, do you recall the name of the champion that you earned last session?
Rowan.
Yes. Rowan is available to you, and he is a very effective combatant. So if at any point during this thing you decide that's where I want Rowan to be stationed, just let me know, okay?
Oh, okay. I figured I would have made him a Thome's disposal because she's not a war person. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Cool. Then just letting you guys know that you have that resource. Continue.
All right, looking at my whiteboard, because I have Eureka, Nasa, myself, Ares, Marcus, and Rowan now as
Yep.
core units. Each are going to have a certain battalion with them. We also need people on standby and medical.
Yeah, I got the impression that Takros would probably be helping support. So even if he's not medically trained, he would probably try to help on the back lines and help with the
Oh,
morale.
yeah.
That sounds perfect.
Tagrios can definitely do that.
All right, so
Sweet.
Takrios is going to stay in the Bastille helping with medical and support. Marcus and Rowan.
I'm gonna put this down since you guys got the idea, and I want to sit.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm also now standing with a whiteboard, so we traded.
Nice.
Now
Okay.
plan out the whole battle plan for this.
I'm not good with battle plans unless I can physically see it.
No, you same. You're good.
All right, so what's the best? I guess we could fucking caving in the ground can't be that hard. It doesn't need to be a good cave in. Me and Ares can go punch the ground for 3 minutes.
True enough.
And Mesa could go topple over what's remains of the building.
But we don't want a barricade. We want a hole. We don't want them crawling through something. We want them to have to go through something.
That's fair.
It's also most of the windows were covered, so that would honestly just block off the road entirely, which is also a completely fine plan if that's what we want to go with instead.
No, I don't want to do that.
All right, hole. All right,
Oh.
big ass
Use-
fucking hole.
Oh, by the
Use
way,
that powerful ass wind to just help dig through that shit like base slashes.
did you roll
That'd
that
be good.
skill check,
Alright.
I could try.
Otto?
I mean, I've got my
Nisa.
dice here.
Nisa.
If it'll let me.
You guys can
6
still hear me, right?
dice, yeah.
Are you talking to us, or are you just like, are you muted?
I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Who, me?
I do not hear you, Jordan.
Uh-oh.
Jordan.
Okay. What the fuck? Hang on. Let me check.
Jordan.
Oh yeah, this happened last time.
Uh-oh.
It's okay, it got fixed pretty quick last time.
Yeah, it did. I can see the panic in his face.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There you are.
Alright, that was weird. But yeah. I was saying, I was asking Salty if you had gotten your, done that skill roll to make the light source thing.
Oh, not yet.
Okay. So go ahead and
We
do
do that
that
now.
while they're trying to decide, between hole and barricade.
All right. Here we go. Jeez. Okay. That's 2 successes. And the divine die is a success.
Okay.
I'm gonna marry this dice, I think.
So, unfortunately, you are not trying to succeed against the. You're not trying to succeed against the DC that is your own troops with this. You're trying to succeed against the DC of Knight.
Yep.
Which you unfortunately fail.
Yep.
But you do manage a slip. So, your light, while not quite bright enough to guarantee visibility for just about everybody, it does provide a different idea. You're able to produce enough light on a focused point.
Okay.
Now, the question is, how do you want to make use of that? You're basically producing a very bright light on a narrow strip, because you weren't able to universalize it.
Okay. How narrow is this light? Like
you know those
say if
heavy.
I was in the clouds, aiming.
You know those heavy emergency like flashlights that have a whole ass handle and are bigger than your hand?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay. Okay.
Very narrow beam of very powerful light.
Okay. I think then I would probably get at a spot on a roof somewhere where I can effectively help light up the road pit.
Okay. Sounds good.
So if someone crawls out or any shit like that, I can shine a light on them to like right there, basically, and they can kill it more effectively.
All right. Speaking of the road pit, whoever is helping to dig that out, I'm gonna need a might roll from you. I'm also gonna add Ares as a might, so you have something else to go off of. But I don't think anybody's divine dice is encompassed by road pit, so
I should have played my God of Roads.
God of road pit. God of holes.
However, might's my
Dude, wait, I
best.
kind of like that idea.
All right.
Can I use the wind to cut through the ground?
there is actually some of this road is pretty damn sturdy. There is a layer of asphalt to cut through, so if you want, I will allow you specifically to roll grace because I know what your might is.
Thank you, sir. I
4s are not
appreciate you.
successes, right?
No.
Not unless it's your divine die.
Oh, okay.
So
Alright, I'm gonna roll 6 dice, and then an extra one.
Me too. I hope you get better than my 2 successes.
Yeah.
Aries carry.
I'm using my wind for this. I can roll my divine dice, right?
Sure.
I mean, there's wind blasting to cut through things
I-
nowadays. Okay, that's a whole thing.
Just roll it.
Okay, I got a 6 on the
You
divine
agreed,
dice,
don't-
but I only got 2 successes with my other dice.
So
All right.
2 from Thome, 2 from you, and then a success with your divine. That's a total of 5 successes. Plus Ares is 3 successes.
Let's go.
Man had 4 dice, by the way.
Thank God. I had
Um.
7 and I got 2.
So
Pose.
Let's make some robot head.
that makes for a total of 9 successes, one of which is a divine die. So that's gonna be definitely a boost. You are not only, because Ares is the one who kind of carried that shit. With respect to your divine dice, Vern, I think I'm gonna decide what the boost is.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have an idea. What idea do you have?
I don't actually. Go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. Because my immediate thought is just like Ares has, being the god of war, he has made these things before. He knows exactly the right way to formulate them.
I wonder if he would like point exactly where I need to, what angle I need to, and like go up in the sky, do like a big spin, and just
Yeah, that absolutely
right through
works.
the earth.
So what actually happens when you suggest like we have a bunch of people in that hole? He's like, why would we have them in the hole? Why would we not just have a line on the other side of the hole? You know what? Here, let me show you. And he just sets up, like he sees you cut through the asphalt, Nasa, and he's like, points at you, and just says, "Could you just cut through here?" And he like points out a direct piece. You shrug, swish your hands around with your scythe, and just make a clean incision in the earth. He nods. Thanks. Thome, help me out here. And both of you together dip down, dig your hands into the dirt, and like grabbing a full set of asphalt and rock, and just heft it up so to flip it over, make this huge mound in front of the hole. They have something to climb over, then they fall down into the hole, and he just starts handing out spears.
Okay.
All right. Now with
Truly is
that,
a god of war.
that's much better. That helped. That is much better. I could change my numbers around. I think. I don't even think this place needs Ares anymore. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, no, that's still the best. A god should still be there because that's still the. If that point breaks, we're fucked.
Hmm.
So my current thought is, with my numbers, because we have 300 strong, right?
Yeah.
All right. My current idea is 50 men at the hole, plus a major unit. But my idea now is either the major unit being either Ares or both Rowan and Marcus.
Okay.
So having one champion and my almost champion, he's getting there. Dictating the whole, because all they really need to do is manage manpower and maybe when people get tired or start getting overwhelmed, switching them out with standby. Also, currently my idea, because we have 300 strong, 50 men makes 250 left. 100 people on standby. Standby needs to be the biggest number because they're the reinforcements.
Gotcha.
So that means we're actually working with 250. If you guys agree with the 50 in the hull, that means we have 200 left.
We only have
That means we
3.
have 150. Yeah, we have.
Only
That's
have-
what this math is right here.
Yeah, we only have a 300 to work with, right?
Yes,
Total?
and then
Yes.
yes, and then my plan was 100. I said the wrong numbers repeatedly because there's a lot of numbers in front of me, and I didn't
There's
say
a lot of
them.
numbers. It's okay.
I said them right to left, not left to right, because I'm stupid. So we have 300 in total. If we put 100 on standby, we put 100 on standby. That makes 200. 50 goes to the pit. Then we have 150, which means with the rest of us, we can have 30 or so men each.
Okay.
No, this also doesn't include you, Otto, in fighting. I assumed you weren't a fighter.
Oh fuck, bro, no.
Okay,
I
cool.
got beat up by a man with a stick.
Yeah, you did.
However, Eureka,
Yeah.
how... This is a very insensitive thing to ask. Oh, not really. How capable of flying are you for extended periods of time?
Oh, that's what I've been doing the last few days.
You're amazing. Okay, so how do you feel about, instead of having a fixed point, being effectively artillery? I don't have a catapult here, but I have a dragon.
Mhm.
So effectively, when you see large clumps or when our lines are kind of breaking, you shoot your dragon breath power thing. It doesn't need to really kill or really maim. Just kind of needs to knock the enemies down, like physically, or push them back to let our line reconstitute.
Oh, sweet child. If you thought I was just going, and she ignores the fact that she is way younger than him. If you thought I was going to A, stand still, or B, just shoot magic breath at them this fall battle, you're very wrong.
I like her.
I like her a lot too. Unfortunately, I like the fact that she's unpredictable. Unfortunately, I need predictable right now. So you're fine.
You point,
Okay.
I shoot.
Oh, that. Well, I'm once the fighting starts, I won't be able to give everyone orders. I'm going to be in there. That's why my idea was you fly. Actually, I'll remove the second part of my idea. Can you fly around to just do whatever it is that you want to do?
Finally understand me. And she gives him a really big hug.
He pauses and then hugs her back and just. I think, unfortunately, several of the people I used to dislike have prepared me for this. You're much better than all of them, by the way. You're all the good traits of the people I dislike. I'm gonna stop talking and go back to planning.
Cool.
She sort of walks away, and you hear her muttering under her voice, "Oh, this will be fun."
God, I love her.
She is great.
So
She's a bit scary.
it's scary in the good way.
So,
I think
who is going to that hole?
that's what I was getting to next. I need input here because I'm stuck on either Ares or both of our champions.
Ares looks at his new axe
Fair.
and just says, "I'm staying in the hole."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you. That makes my life.
I was going to say it's probably his best position, honestly.
All right, it's going to be you and 50 men.
More than I'll need.
It's mostly to make sure that line doesn't break.
No, I'm well aware. It's
Nasa's
right
gonna
to put
lean
more than
over.
I need. I'm just let me be cool.
Nasa will like lean over and just whisper to Thome, like, I lost a battle to him, and he had less than 50 men. He knows what he's doing.
Thome looks at Nasa and looks at Ares. Oh. Huh. I didn't expect you to. All right.
Hmm?
Oh, I sort of assumed me and you would be equally matched, and I beat him in combat, so I assumed that you would have tied with him.
He was a god of war in his prime. I stood no chance.
He nods. He just, fair enough. You are not a battle god.
No.
You also fought me when I was at a fifth of my original power. Don't get
I
cocky.
just woke up.
I love
Like
these,
she said,
this dick measuring.
she fought him. She fought him at his peak. No, she did not do.
Yeah, she fought him when there was still nukes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He pauses. He looks at Ares. If you ever get back to that point, let's meet back up at this mountain.
Otto would look towards home. If it makes you feel any better, you could beat me without trying.
Thanks.
So, all right, Eureka, artillery. Otto
Yep.
is pointing his light down in that hole, helping out with
Ares in the
visibility.
hole. All right, so I have 4 major units left. I'm kind of lumping the champions together, actually. I have 3 major units left.
Oh, I should have
Yeah.
made a gun.
And I have, you should have made multiple crossbows.
Done.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know
maybe-
how hard it is to make crossbows. Like, I don't know. I could assume maybe possibly other troops could make things like that themselves.
They
So
barely
the-
know how to make a fucking spear.
The biggest
Teach him
problem,
how to make a crossbow.
the biggest problem with a crossbow, with a bow, with any of that is string.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot for you to use as string in these parts. And just trying to find it would have taken up more time than trying to find that iron vein. You work with what you have.
Yep.
Nasa,
Yes.
if I gave you a small contingent of troops, would you be able to lead them? In sort of guerrilla tactics? In and out of alleyways, striking, moving away, flanking, and that sort?
The question is, would they be able to do it?
I have full faith in my men, and you need to have faith in them too, or this plan falls apart.
You can see like a small bit of doubt on her face, but then she does nod and says, "If you trust them, then I will too."
Okay. So, if that's the case, me, you, Marcus, and Rowan can take different positions along these alleyways. Each of us having a contingent of 50 men.
Hold up. So you've got 50 down in the hole, 100
I'll
back
stand by.
up. How big is the medic team?
Oh,
Medic
fuck.
team.
Meta team needs to
Nasa-
also be pretty large.
Nasa will say,
30?
"I can go at it alone if that's necessary."
I don't think that's... I think 30 is probably good for the medic team.
Mm-hmm.
So then that
With
leaves me 100.
Tacreos.
Yeah, well, yes. 30 led by Tacreos.
Right.
So then that's 120 we have left.
Yeah. Sounds
So
right.
then that's 40 men each.
For each of the alleyways, right?
For each major unit, but yes.
Gotcha.
I can't wait for all this to go to shit.
Oh, it's
Right.
going to. I can feel
I
it.
think Ares would supply the point that it might be best for Nasa's team to be smaller than the others. If they're already flanking and using guerrilla tactics, they will have a higher advantage. And to keep that advantage, they will need to be nimble. Having a
True.
larger
Mhm.
force means that it'll be harder for them to move through those alleyways and keep to a strong formation.
True. Nasa, do you have an idea of how many people you could comfortably use?
She thinks about it. Perhaps 2 teams of 6.
12 units in total? Okay. That leaves me with 108 units.
Do you need less? I mean, she asked, "Do you need more?" I
He
can
shakes
take
his head.
less.
No, that's not. I'm more worried for your safety.
Do not worry about me.
Unfortunately, that's not what I can. That's. Unfortunately, honor dictates I do. I need to make sure all of us are as safe as possible in this, while also having the advantage. We have home field turf. Unfortunately, we don't have. We don't have a lot of space, which is the point because they outnumber us. But
I will say, just to give you another look at the map again, nearest to you, there are 3 easy choke points in these alleyways.
Oh, I was 1 box lower. Yes.
So, you currently have yourself and 2 champions, if I recall.
Yes.
Marcus is not so much a champion, but could become one, given the
Yes.
chance.
My current plan was to partner Marcus with Rowan. That way I could bolster their forces slightly higher, and command wouldn't really falter.
Okay.
But now that that was also before Nasus having a pinpoint strike team, which also is the best plan with Nasa.
Right.
So now I probably have to split them apart.
I'll just make this simple, if that's okay.
Please do.
I'm going to put Thumb furthest away from Ares, so that if there are any contingencies, or things end up messing up somehow, he can handle those issues. You have a god of battle and a god of war. You don't want them to be together. That's presenting a weak point in your defenses.
Yes.
You want to spread those out. So I'm going to put Thome furthest to the north. I think... Do you want Marcus to be closer or further away from you?
Closest.
Okay.
Because he's not a full champion yet. And if he falters a little in his resolve, he can look back at us.
All right. I meant more you or Ares, but anyway.
Yes.
So that would leave Rowan between Marcus and Ares.
Sounds good.
Okay. You have your positions. How many troops each? Are you just going to be splitting the remaining 108 evenly, or as evenly as possible?
Probably catering more towards Marcus and Rowan than myself.
Okay. So we'll say...
Evenly, we could all take 36 troops.
Oh, okay. Cool. Then we'll simplify it to that. Running out of space to write.
I've already run out of space. My whiteboard is small.
Okay.
There's been so much planning going on. My brain is like all over the place. I'm like,
All right, let me look at this.
Yeah, so this is what you're looking at right now. We have
Okay.
Otto shining a light down on the center, able to have a bird's eye view and strategize, reply to any particular issues that might arise. I'm going to say you did make those communicators that you mentioned during the week between, or like the 2 weeks between last session and this session, so you are able to converse at least with your fellow godlings. Eureka is going to be acting in artillery. Otto will observe, Eureka responds. Tacreos is leading the medics. Standby does not have any extra powerful reserve units. You can't afford that. Ares is going to be leading a troop of 50 to keep this whole taken care of. Rowan, Marcus, and Thome are going to be taking care of the choke points. You're going to be maintaining those pieces with 36 men apiece. lastly, Nesa's 2 teams of 6 are going to be running flanking along these alleyways. Sound good? Everybody okay with this plan?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm so ready.
Cool. So, you only just
Can I
manage.
mention-
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. This is important. You go ahead. I could do this after.
You just managed to get the last pieces of fortifications in place before they're upon you. Though it's not quite so abrupt as 1 second there's no one and then there's a wave of forces upon you. It's first one man shows up off in the distance. Then you see another and another. Just as gradually as you first scouted them, they begin to form up. And as they form up, the lot of you are reminded of something simple, but that probably didn't occur or register until just now. Stamina is for the living. The Risen charge. From over a mile away, they charge toward you.
Oh,
They do not stop. Running full sprint, they approach. As the lot of your men steel themselves. Thome, I would like for you to roll me a might check real quick. I'm going to allow an extra dice to you for this because you are being assisted by Marcus. I'll go ahead and slap another one onto you as well because Rowan is not participating in the flanking piece. You have been gifted Rowan by Nasa for this particular instance. So might plus 2 dice plus your divine die.
That deal.
So that's my might plus 2 dice. Jesus. Okay. Come on. Come on. I have a lot of dice. Let's do this. Oh. Oh, those are words I shouldn't say on camera.
You're allowed to curse. Like,
Is it good words or bad words?
Sexual words.
that's
Is
still.
that good words or bad words?
So I got a 6 on my divine dice and 5 successes.
Dude,
my
you're
God.
so fucking hot.
It's
Well,
Ugh.
I guess I'm horny now.
yeah.
Well,
There's no serious
There it is.
problem like with freaking sexual shit. This is a mature program. Everyone at home is aware of this.
I'm immature
We
though.
are literally in war.
I would have giggled if I said it. So.
Fair enough.
Uh,
So, okay, that's 5 successes.
well, 5 successes and a success on the divine dice.
Right.
So 6.
6 and a boost, yeah. So, cool. You know what? I think this is more appropriate. Cool. So you manage to. You're holding your flanks, your choke points, as these Risen swarm over the buildings. Just freaking. So many of them falling into the pit. So many of them coming through the alleyways. You are able to hold strong. You manage to whittle down the numbers approaching these choke points Um, okay. Yeah. Uh, down by half their original setup. It does take some time. You're methodical about it. You are calculating. Um, and you make sure to cycle out troops as they become tired. Obviously, these gaps are not large enough to fit 36 people simultaneously, but that is part of the design. You have 12 up front for a little bit, then bring them back to rest. 12 up front for a little bit. The moment anyone seems like they're starting to falter, you come up to replace them. And something very, very lovely to experience at this time. Does your sword have a name?
Let me go get it, cause it does. Oh, that's not that fun. It apparently is just called Dawn Splitter.
Oh, that is so hard.
All right, sick. You step forward with Dawn Splitter. You swing it. You do not just chop through the Risen in front of you. You do, technically. But you feel magic being cut with your swing, as well as flesh and bone. Where one Risen is cut, 5 around it fall. The enchantment moving them severed completely by the absorbing nature of Dawn Splitter.
Mm-hmm.
Armed with your sword, your grit, and your men, you cut down these monsters. I'm going to go ahead and roll for Ares' portion real quick. But as I do, I am reminded that you got a boost from that. What else happens?
As Dawn Splitter cleaves through the men, the Risen, Thumb smiles, and then yells out, "They're made of magic! We are magic's bane!" As he brandishes his sword, he wants to try to spread the magic nature of his weapon to the men generally around him, even if it's 1 or 2.
Ooh, okay. Sure. Well, it's a boost, so that's what happens. You...
It's sweet.
Oh my god, this is gonna be nuts. Fuck. Sorry, I'm blanking. Swing your sword. You raise your sword up in the air, and the weapons of the men around you glow in a similar fashion. They swing, cutting through swaths of these soldiers in front of them. I think I can pretty handily say that by the end of the day, you will have one out on this flank. Speaking of flank, Nasa, you're bringing in your 2 teams of 12.
Yes. No, 2 teams of
2 teams of 6, sorry. How are you going to... Or let's just go ahead and make it a grace roll. And if you would like, you can go ahead and describe how you manage to come behind these folks once you've got your result. You're using your... I assume you're using your scythe for this, so go ahead and add your divine die.
7 dice. Right, okay. Here we go. Ready? I'll throw my first 6. That is ass.
Yucks.
Okay, there we go. So I only got 2 successes so far. My divine dice.
'Kay.
Is a 4.
That's a success. So 2 and a 4.
So
This is going
bad.
to be interesting. Okay, that's a slip. You wait. Is it? Hang on. I completely forgot how battles work. Let me roll something. So this will be Ares. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's delicious. Now let me roll for these guys. And then
Not the delicious.
I'm scared, guys. I'm so sorry. My character's gonna fuck everything.
never mind. You got a boost.
Never mind. We're good.
Beat
All
their
right.
ass, kid.
So yeah, they rolled 1 success against you. You got a total of 3 successes. So you go ahead and describe for me how you guys managed to flank them and add whatever boost you want. You're already going to be cutting a huge number out of these forces, but you can add something extra, maybe give somebody else an opportunity as well.
So, here is my idea. Early on, I would have taken the men and been like, okay, we made the trench. I'm gonna go start preparing my stuff. And what we would have done is started laying like rudimentary traps, like really low tier shit.
Okay.
But the Risen aren't going to be expecting us to have thought of anything like this. So like wire traps, foot traps, and then hiding in places to sneak out and collapse strategic spots on top of large groups of them, probably.
Mhm.
Coming in, taking out like pieces of them along the back, things like that.
Dope. Yeah.
And then me under a cloud of fog, them also under a cloud of fog. That I would like bring in the fog, we do our shit, drop the fog, move to the next spot.
Right. Okay. Sick. You have these traps set up prior. They trip them just enough to disorient them for you to sweep in the fog and come under cloud cover to just rip through the enemy lines. Was one of those things part of your boost, or did you want to add something? Because I don't think any of those would really count.
Oh,
personally.
no, that's not my boost. My boost is me winding up an attack and then like driving through like a row of them with just my scythe ready and just in a
Okay.
line, just heads flying.
All right.
I'm not good at describing this kind of stuff.
You're fine. I will, to provide a tangible benefit, I'm going to allow you to roll grace again on these guys.
Huh?
A boost is a tangible benefit. So, describing an extra flavor of how you kill these guys is intangible. So, to make it tangible, you're going to get an extra hit on them.
Okay, cool. All right, 6 dice. Right, fives are successes.
Yep.
So that's 3, and then get a roll 1 more. That's a fail. Okay, so then do I use my divine one? No. I'm using my scythe.
Yeah, you do use your divine one.
Well, the divine one failed anyway, so I have 3 successes.
That's... I think that would be enough. You seeing the mass that's crawling through the alley falter, you raise your scythe and ready it in the air and swing it down in a lateral strike that just summons a gust of wind that carves through a massive line of these risen.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay. Now, Otto, Eureka, what you guys observing the hole dug into the road find is that what wound up running through the choke points amounts to roughly 1,000 risen. And 1,000 got distracted earlier,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which leaves a total of 1,000 risen up against 50 men led by the god of war. No matter how powerful Ares is, it's not enough.
Yep.
Eureka, you
Yes.
are definitely the more combat effective of the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do to help them out?
So I'm thinking, if I'm understanding the map properly, we sort of have those barricaded choke points, and
Mhm.
some of them are coming through there, or are going to try to head in that direction, and then the rest are going through that main way, but they haven't breached yet. Is that my understanding?
There is no chance of them breaching the choke points.
Okay, so they're pretty much going to be coming through the front door.
If they're going to be coming at all, yeah. And it
Okay.
certainly seems like they're going to be coming.
Okay, so I'm seeing the fact that like the choke points are being handled quite effectively.
Yes.
And seeing just this line or this wave that just keeps coming and falling, but still coming. I'm gonna try to check the environment to see if I can like make a dent in their forces with both a mixture of like my size and my magic. Are there any of the buildings that are near that street that are tall enough that I could try to knock over with my draconic size?
You could. Do you want to roll the might roll that it would take for that to happen?
What I want to do is the action I'm going to do, what that ends up being a roll, is I want to sort of like land heavily on the top and sides of this building that's next to the road, and how do I describe what I want to do? I want to like land and then fire at them, but I want to like land on the building not as like support, but as like a push. So I want it to be like a two piece attack where like I kind of shoot into the back and then try to land something on top of the middle of like in front of where I am. To sort of like,
That
does that make
push
sense?
is going to be a might roll.
Okay. I would like to try to do that.
Okay, go for it.
I know it's hard, but
Yeah. No divine dice for this one. Your
Yeah.
breath attack is going to work as it will in the book. Let me actually pull that up because I forget. I'm just gonna assume that the breath weapon is will enable your divine dice for a spirit attack.
okay. So like, okay, that makes sense.
So first give me the might roll, then give me the
Yeah.
spirit.
Okay. Attempt to knock building over. 2 successes.
Okay.
For the might or the spirit?
For the might. This is the landing,
So-
the building part.
Okay.
Hang on, I need to check something.
Yeah, because luckily while I'm in dragon form, my might and grace switch. So while my might is low and grace is high normally, in dragon form my grace is low, my might is high.
So
Oh. Okay.
all right. You've got I'm sorry. I need to write this down. You said 2 successes?
2 successes on the building.
And go ahead and roll that breath attack as well.
Okay. Group 1. Oh, okay. Um, 3 successes. I failed the divine.
Okay. So that's what I was expecting, yeah. Is that enough? Ooh.
Yep.
And wait, no, I didn't say it's not enough. I said, is that enough? Give me a second to do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Given this. Okay. The tide comes pushing in. If any of you have seen World War Z,
Oh God.
imagine that, but they all have hatchets.
Oh.
Just pouring into this hole. Eureka, you come crashing down onto one of the nearby, not so much a skyscraper, but a very large building.
Yeah.
And kick forward as you fire your breath weapon along in a swift line. The building falls on top of many risen. Your breath weapon bores over many more of them, dazing or just burning alive a bunch. But what remains and is currently running along the road just breaks through glass and charges through to the other side, only to fall into the hole to join the others, where many are trying to scrabble their way up the now sort of glass-esque steep wall up the hole, clambering onto each other. The ones closest to the top getting speared by the 25 to 30 or so men that are currently along that wall. Ares, for his part, laughs, presses one button to ignite the engine of his handle, swings, and presses the other. As a result of his momentum and his innate skill with every single weapon he has ever picked up, the axe head pops off the handle and flies along this crevasse you all created. It turns with a sort of just this whirling saw blade energy that carves a bloody canyon through your trench and soars out the other end. He swings up the handle, clicks the button again, and powered by magnetic pulse, the axe head swings back over, and he just waves to you up in the sky, Eureka, and gives you a thumbs up. Uh, you
Whatever the sound of a dragon saying "we" is, that's
Yeah. You manage to make a significant dent, but a significant dent in a force of 1,000 that are not bottlenecked into an easy space for you to just carve straight through them.
Mhm.
There is still a lot more ground to cover. You eventually reach a point in the fight where the flanks, the choke points, are barely even a problem anymore. The forces that you are conducting right now are not having any difficulty whatsoever in keeping their in keeping the defensives up. You have barely suffered any casualties. I would honestly guesstimate the amount of people that have actually died across the choke points and flanks, numbers below 10. However, the whole is a completely different matter. No matter how many times Ares manages to carve through these risen, no matter how many uses of her breath weapon Eureka is able to pull off, or how many buildings she topples, there is still more. Thome, what is your
Yes.
plan?
So the flanks you said are doing fine.
Yes.
Fine enough to where one of us can pull off.
Definitely.
He looks toward. He tells his men and looks towards where Marcus is because he's close to me. Continue what you're doing. I'm going to reinforce Ares.
Armed with the enchantment of your sword, they nod and maintain position at the flank. You move towards Ares to attempt to assist him. Go ahead and roll me a might check. I'm going to roll another for Ares. Eureka, you can go ahead and roll with your breath weapon.
Okay.
Nasa, are you still going to assist with the flanks, or are you going to peel one of your teams off to assist Ares as well? If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Three. I think I'll send one of my teams with them.
Okay, and keep the other one. Are you staying with the other one to make sure the flanks are doing
Yes.
okay? Gotcha.
I'll
Sounds
stay
good.
in the back. I'll stay at the flanks, so that way they still have a god back there.
Right.
Can I try and help in some way?
If you can tell me how you do it.
Can I be able to tell Eureka some of the most packed spots from this aerial, from up here on this building, packed spots out of all of these, like, this group that are coming in, to, like, give, like, her breath towards and stuff like that, using the communication device, like, and try and see if it has bigger
That's an
impact?
interesting idea. Go ahead and roll a skill check. I
Sweet.
won't allow
Since
your divine dice for this, but
Okay.
I'm sorry. Were you going to make an argument?
Argue about. Yeah, I was gonna make an argument about it because I'm using my the communication device, but if not, that's also fine.
I think it's a bit of a stretch. The communication device doesn't augment your words; it just allows you to transmit them.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Cool. Okay, so that is 4 successes out of 6. So
Okay.
2 fails, 4 successes.
Goddamn. All right. So 4 successes. You are advising people on tactical decisions that can be made, and that is going to add to your overall team score for this operation. I think I'll actually leave Ares out of this one. He's struggling to maintain things as is, so you guys trying to take the heat off of him doesn't make a whole lot of sense for him to be able to assist you in that. Also, Okay, so what I'm going to need now is a spirit roll from Eureka with divine dice. Actually, I think all of you would be using your divine dice or no, Nasa's not taking part with her troop here, so she's not using her scythe. So Nasa, unfortunately, will not be able to add her divine dice to this roll, but she will be using grace. So it's a negligible problem. Eureka, spirit, divine dice. Thome,
Yes.
might, divine dice. Nasa, grace, no divine dice. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Thome got 3 successes. Thome got 4 successes, one of them being a divine dice.
Sick.
Okay. I got 3 successes, including the divine dice.
So, 4, oh. Eureka, you said 3, including divine?
3 that included the divine.
Yeah. And Thome was 4 with divine.
Yes.
Dope. Nasa, what did you get?
4 successes.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's make this a little interesting.
Please don't hurt us more, Father.
I have to. You're doing too good.
But Mom.
And 3, so that's... Hmm. 12... No. Yes, actually. 12. Nice. And the two of you that had divine dice succeeded. So I'm counting that as a collective boost for the whole set. You do manage to succeed. Even as... So, here's the scene. Recognizing that Ares needs assistance and that the flanks are doing fine as they are, you peel off and Nasa makes a tactical decision, sacrificing some of her own team in terms of like what she has readily available, not like sending them to die or anything, to
The deathly right.
flank the sides with the assistance of Thome and with Eureka continuing to rain hellfire down. Otto, you are not just advising Eureka, you are advising everybody in their movements. You have observed Thome's... You've observed Thome's sword cutting down these risen from afar and have correctly reasoned that vertical strikes are going to be more effective, allowing the swing to travel a further distance. You advise him on the correct, technique to it. He recognizes your words and translates them into action. Nasa, after observing the way that you fight and the way that you manage their tactical, strikes, these 6 instinctively, not so much instinctively, but skillfully recognize that they are far more useful doing hit and runs than going for a straight flank on such an overwhelming force. They just grab out 2 risen, then 3, then 4. One after another, they just peel off bits and pieces off of the right flank of these folks, while on the left flank, Eureka is boring down her laser upon the line. Oh, sorry. The line of risen as they charge. All the while, Ares is still hacking and slashing with his axe. His own forces being taken down one after another, and others stepping up to protect them or take up their spot. By the way, anytime a single one of his soldiers dies, Ares pushes them into the hole. Immediately. And within seconds, they stand back up attempting to fight back. You have had to
I
do
know it.
similar ruthless tactics, but you were prepared for it, thanks to Nasa. The fight is hard, but you manage to thin them out enough to make it somewhat manageable. Yeah, we'll just do it like this. After many, many, many swings, you find that the numbers are beginning to thin. And with victory in sight, you pull out the standby forces. They rush in, cleaning up the remaining Risen, and leaving all of you with a massive amount of bodies at your front door. Some of them used to be your own soldiers. The rest were the only garrison available on this entire continent. They may
This
carry...
motherfucker threw the whole thing at us? Really? What a horrible play.
Was it horrible? If you're dealing with rebels, why would you save any of your forces? Why wouldn't you just
Fair.
crush them immediately before they could get any stronger? You all stand...
Nope, good, continue.
Yeah.
You all stand amidst the destruction. Sweating, panting. But aware in the back of your tired minds that you have won. Were you about to ask a question, Thumb?
No. I'm gonna make statements. Tell people what to do, all that jazz.
Okay. You advise the cleanup of the corpses and various other things. Eureka, what are you doing?
I think what she'll try to do, because even though we may not have lost that many lives, there's probably a lot that are injured. That would be the guess.
Very
Because
much
usually
so, yeah.
The injured number is much higher than the death number in that case.
Yeah.
I think she'll try to take on an unassuming human form, like with her glamour powers, and sort of observe / like help just be an extra body, and maybe if a role's allowed, attempt to sort of help change the fate of a few lives that might be on the brink, from being on the brink to being will recover with time. Like, not trying to like bring anyone back, not trying to do anything on that, but try to like just maybe save a couple extra lives while she can.
Sure. Go ahead and roll spirit.
Okay.
I don't know if your divine dice would be added onto this.
I can't think of a good reason why this one would.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I think would just be
Straight
a
spirit.
default roll.
You could attempt to push your domain if you want.
She, in some cases, she would. I don't think she would when it comes to human lives,
Okay. Sounds
because
good.
that can cause problems. Like,
Okay.
she knows that if she pushes her luck with her imagination magic, that like it could get ugly. And
Right.
if that was for a thing, that's fine. If it's a person, not so.
Okay.
So, oh, holy shit! Hold on. 5 successes.
Evil.
Nice. Yeah. You
Hey, yo.
managed to save a lot of lives.
And it would be subtle. Like, it would just be like an idea that like, oh, it would be really great if their wounds would just heal faster.
Yeah.
It'd be really great if like their heart wasn't bleeding.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Oh my god.
Okay. Cool. You managed to save a lot of lives. I'm actually going to make that a 6 successes, because you already have your champion in the medic team.
Even if they don't know that I'm me.
I mean, they're already doing their best to help you, or
That's
not
true,
to help
that's
you, but to help
Do the
to
task.
heal people. So if
Yeah,
you're
okay.
helping them, it's not so much they add a success onto you as you add 5 successes onto them.
That's fair.
So, yeah, with your assistance, a lot of wounded are sought to. Uh, Otto, what are you doing here? How are you helping with the cleanup?
Right now he is probably trying to like calculate ways to do more to get rid of these bodies quickly and more efficiently. But he's like unable to really push any because he's just unable to do that.
Don't mind me, just gonna use the clouds to scoop them up and put them over there.
Yeah, like that's something that he'd like recommend to you. Like, could you try doing that?
Mm-hmm.
I should
Now
probably
he would talk in the communication device though, and he would say, "Well, to be honest, my friends, I did not have hope of this war. I I did not see any real possibility of us winning, but we somehow managed to do this, and for the first time since a while, I do feel a lot of what you would call hope in our cause." And that would be only to the four of you guys, I think, or to the three of you.
Well, Otto, it's not over yet.
far from.
We have to count our dead, hold the memorial, prepare for the next wave. And I fear the next one will be much worse.
Not a second after you say that, do the lot of you hear an immensely loud boom
Oh no.
break across the silence. It's not so loud as to be an explosion, nor so quiet as to be far enough that you would consider it harmless. And in fact, it does have a direct point of origin. As the lot of you, your heads snap towards one of the buildings, maybe a block or two out, far away from the battle. You see a trailing line of smoke,
Oh no.
which you follow. And at the end of it, you find a growing red bulb in Ares'
Growing red
forehead.
what?
I said bulb, hole,
Oh.
red spot in Ares' forehead. The god of war falls. And our camera dollies back, far, far back from the spot where he collapses, and all of his men rush to aid him, to check him, to pray to all of you that he is somehow not as dead as he clearly is. And as those men become blips against the horizon, our pull slows until we see the end of a rifle, a scope, and the back of a familiar, short, unassuming human being. As he pulls back opens the chamber, lets out a steaming cartridge, locks it back into place, and says, 1 down, 4 to go. And that is where we are going to end our session of the Hands That Thieve.
I can't chase down this line.
You will more than likely be able to, but brother, it is
time.
11:24 p.m.
You're fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So thank you to our wonderful audience for watching. Thank you to all of my players for joining. You can find 3 of them at different twitch.tv accounts down in the description below. Neba at Nebanatsky, Vern at Vernadera, and Salty at The Salty Sweater. I believe it's The Salty Sweater _. You can find
look for now.
Nil in the void, I suppose.
No, in hell in a few years.
Or in the week
Or in
after
this jail
next,
right now.
when he gets shot in the head.
Fuck.
So thank you all once again. Have a wonderful fortnight. Do not reference the game. And I will catch you all later. Peace.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.